action thriller movie in the theaters right now. It's called The Amateur, and here to talk about that is Bart and Jennifer Mills, our local movie reviewers. Welcome, Bart and Jen.
Good morning, Jen.
All right, so action thriller. When I looked at the promo, the trailer, it looked awesome. But tell us what you think.
Well, this is actually a remake of a 1981 book that I actually read. It was kind of a hit back in '81. It tells you how old I was. It's based on the idea that the lead character, played by Rami Malek, is a CIA analyst. He works in the basement, basically, the CIA. Super smart guy. They explained to us that he's got a 170 IQ. And so his wife goes on a business trip to London and is, no spoilers, murdered by terrorists. And the rest of the movie is him basically trying to work his way into a situation where he can be permitted to go and take vengeance upon the guys who killed his wife.
Yeah, so this movie is all about revenge, it seems like. So is this, it looked really interesting to me from the trailer, with the action. How are the action scenes in this movie?
There really isn't. I mean, there's no hand-to-hand combat because he's no Jason Bourne, right? So the thing is, he's supposed to be killing these people using his brain, So one person's got allergies, and so he tries to kill her using pollen. So there's no fight scenes per se.
Yeah, well, I know there's a few people with allergies that I would like to do the same at times as they're coughing and sneezing all over me.
Yeah, they don't put it in their elbow, man. They deserve to die.
Yeah. So Rami's a really good actor, but does he?
Is he?
Well,
is he though?
Well,
is he?
I don't know.
Okay, so he was great in iRobot, all right? But iRobot was
not iRobot, Mr. Robot.
Oh, Mr. Robot. Right.
That was Will Smith.
Yeah, okay.
Really different guy.
So, but he played a very specific character. And now he just continues to keep playing that kind of twitchy character, kind of on the spectrum, kind of not, And in this particular character, I don't think that really played well for him. Well, he was very twitchy, it just, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm speaking of what you just said, I'm going to tell you what one critic wrote. It was an attempt to be witty, but ultimately boring. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you know how actors make choices, and sometimes mediocre actors make the biggest choices. And so this is this whole thing. I mean, the concept is the idea. It's a fun concept. The idea that a guy who really has only a really good brain wants to take vengeance for somebody he loves. And so as a result, he doesn't have the muscle of all the people around him. He doesn't have all the tools, but he's got, some abilities and he's smart. And he's also, he's emotive and everything else, like smart people tend to be. But in this case, he's done it as she said, twitchy. There's an odd, you can emote without having to constantly sort of scrunch your face and twitch about. And so he comes off playing it a little bit too much. And it is a distraction from the movie. It's hard to root for him because he doesn't really have much of a personality as an actor. And so that takes away from this conceit of the movie. And then when he shares the screen with guys like Barenthal or Lawrence Fishburne, who are actually, really fun actors to watch, it really blows them off.
Yeah. Now, this movie is PG-13, mainly for the violence and the language. It's also 123 minutes long. And we're going to go directly to our favorite website, Rotten Tomatoes. So are you ready to hear what Rotten Tomatoes has to say?
Bring it on.
87%.
Right. No, Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 89% of audience approval rating. However, the critics only gave it a 60%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more like it. We're more in the critical mind space right now, I guess. But yeah, that sounds close.
Yeah, it's definitely a C.
All right, so let's go to the big reveal here. Are we going to give this movie a big thumbs up, a thumbs down, or just somewhere in the middle?
As much as I've negged on it this morning, I'm going to give it in the middle. I'm going to say when it comes on TV, or if you've got a Saturday afternoon free, I still love the movies. Go to the theater, enjoy the movie. If it's your kind of thing. I guess it's not that it was a bad movie. It's just another case of a movie that I think had real potential and didn't live up to it.
Yeah, Jen?
Yeah, I totally agree. I was thinking after we got home from the movie, I'm like, am I going to give this a up, down, or in the middle. And I'm going to give it in the middle, which I've never done before. Because it wasn't a terrible movie. It's just, it could have been a great movie. And they just missed that boat.
All right, so you talked about actors making choices. Well, now we have to make a choice if we're going to go out and see The Amateur. Well, Bart and Jen, thanks so much for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
All right, well, don't go away because we have more when we return.